back, everyone, to Non-Standard Action's Threefold Conspiracy. This is our final farewell episode for our beloved investigators. When last we saw them, they had infiltrated the gray mothership floating outside of Absalom Station and tracked down and defeated Mysteriarch Zazo, or their dad, as we like to call him. He is their creator.
He's not our dad.
They murdered him in cold blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was gonna murder us, to be fair.
No, he was gonna erase.
He was going to
erase our identities.
He was gonna destroy us.
Erase you and use you again. That's
Erasing
all.
identities counts as killing.
Just ask any computer-based sci-fi dystopian novel, right? Where
Yes.
it becomes an issue. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Jet.
Thank you, Jet. Also, hi, Jet. Good morning.
Hi, Jet.
For that tier 1 sub gift, to be clear.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jet.
I went
for
to
that tier 1
Lapis.
sub gift. Yeah.
That's exciting. Just sharing the love right around, throwing money at ourselves. That's one way to get money into the stream.
You gotta spend money to make money?
I think that's how it works, Tom.
I don't have an icebreaker question for these guys this morning, because we're gonna answer all of your questions about TFC after we do a little bit of wrap up, because we can't just let these characters kill the big boss and then forget all about them. No, we need to know what
do we do next?
Yeah, what are these characters doing with the rest of their lives as we ride them off into the sunset? But before we even get to that,
but we don't want to.
we can, but we don't want to.
Yes,
No,
just because we
wanna
can
let-
do something doesn't mean that we should.
Yes. We want to let you, our audience, know what becomes of these characters after they have murdered their maker. But of course, as soon as Zazo drops, which is where we left off last week, as soon as Zazo drops, there's a little progress bar on the screen, or the display screen goes blank. And moments later, there's a telepathic message that echoes through your head. Uploading research data to Mothership. Self-destruct upon completion. And a purple progress bar appears on the screen.
And they have excellent upload times.
Oh, yes.
Off prompting course.
They're using fiber.
And
how did they get access to Space Google Fiber?
Of course, having been dealing with Greys and their computer technology, Glasgow probably immediately realizes that he can't stop this download. The only thing to do is GTS.
Realize I can't stop this download. And then I make a computer check.
I mean, you can make one.
To slow the download?
You could try.
Ogden will assist.
Okay.
And shoot you with drugs. That's a 38 with drugs and an assistance.
Yeah, even that is not enough to slow this down.
Yeah,
this is definitely a dead man's failsafe. And it has the upload signal could be designed to piggyback on regular drift beacon communication, meaning the mothership could be anywhere, but you can't slow it down.
Well, then we need to get back to our ship. I guess we'll rush back to the teleporter room and desperately try to fiddle with that to try to teleport back to our ship.
And as this is happening, Ogden stabs himself with like 3 serums of healing because he took a walloping last time.
Did he?
Oh yeah, he's at 29 of 78 hit points with 0 stamina points left. It's very exciting. This never happens.
I didn't Laska do that. I'm remembering now.
Yeah, it's all coming back to you, isn't it?
You guys book it back through the ship to the teleporter room where you came in and hit a glowing console that quickly teleports you back to your ship just as the gray ship implodes upon itself. And collapses into the astral plane.
Well,
you're able to make it back to Absalom Station. and the stewards there. The stewards are more than happy to provide you with any assistance you need to pick up new lives, since you've let them in on your cloniness. And let's start with Lasco, because Lasco had some words with the director before you lot set out to the Gray Ship about taking over Aram's position. Correct?
Yeah. So, we discussed this a bit earlier. Lucas Lasco ends up changing his name to Aram, and whatever Aram's first name was.
Steve.
Director.
Director. Yes, his first name is actually Director. Director Aram.
He was born for this job.
He was literally constructed in a tube for this job.
Yeah.
Getting some real King Fuhrer Bradley vibes off of that. I don't like it.
I was thinking Major from Catch-22.
He takes on the mantle of director of Absalom Station, roughly with running it roughly the same way that he, thought he ran his crime in quotation marks syndicate back also in Absalom Station. So generally he treats his people very well. Like he's very generous towards Absalom Station and strongly stands up for Absalom Station, but sometimes to a detriment. So he probably represents with a bit of a nationalistic bent to it. He's generally pretty good to his word. He's happy to work with other directors, and when he makes a bargain, he sticks to it. But he is not willing to concede much unless it benefits Absalom Station. And he is happy to hire any and all of his party mates, the only people who know his deepest and darkest secret, although many of them, I think, want their own lives.
The Director General supports Lasco in this endeavor, but does advise him to take the other members of the Directorate into confidence and explain the situation to avoid any further scandals or political maneuvering. But Aram does in fact win the Directorate seat. The stewards, issue a statement that Aram and Vora Rin were taken, or that Vora Rin was taken into custody as a serious threat from outside the Pact world, but they don't directly mention reptoids. Unless anyone asks the Director General not to mention their names. Does anyone not want to be a public figure?
Iris does not wish to be a public figure.
Ogden already has a fairly public figure that is walking around with his name, so he doesn't want to be a public figure either.
Adelaide would kind of prefer to be sort of like the Black Widow. She does her best work when only the right people know that she exists.
Fair enough. All right. Just Aram then was an important factor in wrapping up the case, as well as Agents Nick Thorson and Effecta. But they do reward you in any capacity you desire. In Lasco's case, obviously this is, backing him up for the Directorate seat. But what about Adelaide?
Well, Adelaide will be working for Mr. Aram as long as she can. And when that gets boring, she'll allow herself to be coached by one of his rivals in order to undermine them. Not Aram, but the rival. And then she'll try doing that a couple of times until until people catch on. It takes a while. She always comes back to Aram, though.
Lasco is always willing to hire Adelaide as long as she keeps her more evil instincts in check.
As far as you know. She also eventually undermine. She also takes out her clone, the influencer. Nice as her skincare line was, she just can't allow her to be running around as a reptoid. So at some point, she brings the full force of cancel culture onto her, and she's gone.
Oh,
It's cold.
That not evil at all. What what about Iris, Leif?
Oh goodness. Iris is interested in really one thing at this point after all of this, and that's ensuring the continued freedom and survival of his android brethren and
Oh, so-
sisterin and Datherin.
so they join the abolitionist movement. Oh, cool.
They're
Or I mean, or do they want to do it on the up and up? The stewards will happily make you an honorary legate, should you so desire.
I feel like they offer this option, but Iris curtly declines before they kind of like disappear under the radar. And what they end up doing is they kind of go get some plastic surgery did.
Oh,
Not
the
look
stewards-
like they're
Yeah,
individual.
the stewards will totally give you plastic surgery to look like whatever you want.
Just enough of that they look different from their
Oh
original,
man,
the
the
original.
glitch
Yeah.
gremlins got Leif bad.
Oh no.
no.
Roboting.
Welcome back, folks. Sorry about that. Just wanted to figure out what was going on with Leif's glitch gremlins. Seems to have smoothed out now. Leif, what were you telling us about Iris? And the plastic surgery, I think, is where you left off. The stewards will happily give you plastic surgery.
I don't even know if it's considered plastic surgery. It's really just like a face swap.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is a semi-normal thing for androids to go through, especially ones in covert situations. Either way, full on face change. So Iris looks distinct from the replicant reptoid replacement of the original. Yeah. How deep does this rabbit hole go?
Okay, here's a question.
Only three.
So reptoids can take the form of androids?
Yes.
Okay.
Any humanoid.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's one of the ones by the book that is allowed by reptoids, but then they created more things for this AP for reptoids to be able to duplicate small races and whatnot. Yeah.
But yeah, they pretty quickly fall off the radar, and that's everybody's radar, not just
Even your friends?
Oh yes, even friends.
Our closest, dearest friends.
Just vanishes
Let's get
into
not too surprised
obscurity.
by this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Not too long after all of this happens, you all do get a mysterious message from an unrecognized number, but it just says we've been through a lot together. If you ever need me, you can reach me here.
Aw.
Nice.
Yes, that is a very awe.
Acknowledged.
And Tom, what about Ogden?
So Ogden probably asks a little help of Vorsen on this one to get some intel on a certain reptoid that Ogden has recently learned of. And then he's currently working with Lasco Aram as Aram's sort of intelligent, like whatever position of intelligence agency Ogden could
Yeah,
hold.
I mean,
right, Simon? We talked about
Ogden
that.
probably does
Yeah.
take up the honorary legate thing, right? In that case, many of
Or
the
would that be too
protectors of legates are special. It's sort of like being a retired CIA agent or something. It's like an honorary. This person has access to all the steward's resources. They're very important,
Mhm.
but they don't answer to the
Ogden.
stewards necessarily.
Ogden would take them up on that offer, if only to take advantage of the resources and their network. And so he would, Lasco would get a message from Ogden saying, "I'll be out of the office for about a week. Shouldn't be much longer than that." And then,
Good luck.
so
Don't forget to log
What?
your hours with HR.
Thank you. So we see Ogden dressed in street clothes, walking through a busy market street. It's difficult to tell where he might be necessarily. He steps off to the side of the street and looks down at his comm unit. It displays a message. "You are being activated." It continues with directions to an alleyway, one that is directly across from where he currently stands. He squints into the darkness of the alley, shaded from the sun above by the high walls to either side. Cautiously, he makes his way across the street to enter the alley. As the cacophony of the crowd behind him fades, he scans the alley for his contact. "Hello?" He advances further. No sooner than he begins to call out again, he suddenly feels a sharp sting in his right shoulder. He looks down to see a dart protruding from his shoulder. Fumbling for it, he whirls around looking for his assailant. Another dart hits him in the back as he spins and his vision begins to fade. A figure steps from the shadows. Ogden looks into the face of his assassin, and in what is a surreal experience for one such as himself, sees his own face. The tall, lithe Vesk leans down close and says, "The real Ogden may be long gone, but the least I can do is to ensure that they don't suffer your kind any more than I had to." The assassin puts one more dart into Ogden's face, and he finally succumbs to the various poisons coursing through his veins. Soon after, the body transforms from the slightly more muscular form of a Vesk into the more slender reptilian form of a Reptoid.
Oh, you got me good!
Later, Ogden sends a message to the Velhites explaining that they won't see Ogden anymore, and that they need to watch out for Reptoid infiltration in their family. Further Reptoid infiltration in their family. They, of course, don't believe him, but desperately trying to find out who sent the message, thinking, correctly, that they would have answers. The disappearance of Ogden Velhite was never quite solved.
Ah, love it. Your next Valhite character is gonna have to tie this in.
He's looking for his
Maybe.
lost brother.
Yeah, this is a very like dark patch in the family history that didn't previously exist.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Ninden's life was pretty dark too, even if it wasn't like played out in the game.
I get it, but his brother wasn't
Except for the whole-
mysteriously murdered in an alley
That's true.
or disappeared
Well, it
in
wasn't
an alley. Disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, so if you think about it, the body that was found in that alley wasn't Ogden, right? Like maybe it had
Right,
some
right.
of
Ogden
Ogden's
was killed
stuff
a long
on it.
time ago.
Yeah. But like what I'm saying is, they don't see that whatever body that was in the alley as their brother. They just know that all of a sudden Ogden's not around anymore.
Ogden's gone, vanished.
And
Yeah,
has
Ogden's
been gone for
disappeared.
a long time. Right.
Yes, yeah, and so my clone Ogden tells them, "Hey, Ogden is gone. You're not going to see him anymore. Keep an eye out for Reptoids and fleam like that."
Man, that's traumatic.
Yeah.
Does our Ogden change his name and his appearance at all?
Oh yeah. After that, he definitely kept his face for the melodrama of showing this Reptoid. Yes, of killing himself. Yeah. But after that,
What a queen.
he'll probably also hey, I mean, he's Space James Bond. He has to
It's
have
true.
the melodrama.
It's true. Yeah.
Yes. True.
After this, he definitely takes up the stewards on their offer of facial reconstruction, and similarly changes his name. Although probably in company with Lasco and Adelaide, he would probably I don't know. Maybe we would use each other's real names, or maybe not.
Original names, perhaps.
Yes.
The names that you originally learned of each other way back on the Chimera.
Yeah.
Book
I'd say
one.
that
It's not
Aaron
like-
is too practical to continue asking people to use his old name.
It's not like
That's fair.
Adelaide was. It's not like Adelaide's remembered biography began with her name being Adelaide Fortwith. So
That's true.
Not particularly attached to it. But every 10
I mean-
years or so, when the four of you get together, it's these names again, even though no one uses them anymore. I'm sure Iris has a whole new identity.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
man, Iris doesn't even come to the meetings.
What? You don't think Iris would come out of the woodwork for like the 10-year reunion?
I don't know,
They
man.
might. They might. They also might just be like standing on the other side of the room, like, you know,
Looking in through the window like a
Watching
creepy.
from across the street.
just
no.
like it's nice to see them again, but I can't go in there,
Just can't.
sort of thing.
Well, you
Yeah,
know, we'll
face
send
them.
you the we'll send you the courtesy invite for the 10-year,
Mm-hmm.
and no
Borson, like-
pressure.
Borson like pops up behind Iris. I knew you'd be spying on them.
Why don't you go in? Say hi. I'm sure they're worried about you.
You know, Borson's superstition finally is paid off, and Borson starts moving up the totem pole. It's very, very good at what he does.
Iris just kind of like, without looking back at him, just kind of like, you know, that was a different lifetime. There are other things to be focusing on as they like, you know, put the lollipop back in their mouth, throw their jacket over their shoulder, and walk off into the artificial sunset.
Lol.
People don't know how many licks it takes to get to the middle.
You guys are the best. While we were on break, we were saying that, or actually before the show this morning, this AP has been quite a wild ride.
Lots of unexpected
Yeah.
Indeed.
twists and turns.
About 3.
Mm.
Roughly 3 big ones, yeah. Could have seen that coming.
Definitely not
How
me.
far your characters have come since that first session on board the Chimera, when none of them knew each other or trusted each other very much at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot
It's
of
funny
you came
how,
together
like-
very quickly.
Yeah. I think it's funny how, like, I had originally created Adelaide to be the sort of lawful, neutral, evil, ballast character, like the one that was keeping things running for Lasco. But she's a total force of chaos by the end of this. I think that's more or less what you quickly turned into, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one. That
Well,
is
there's something-
that is the role of the Witch Warper, I think, is chaos.
Yeah.
What with your what's it called, the thing where you sacrifice a spell slot for arbitrary effects.
Oh
Infinite
yeah,
World.
Infinite Worlds.
Yeah, and Infinite Worlds very much lends itself to chaos.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
dang, I just thought of another one. An area fills with rubber ducks.
Oh,
And if
difficult
they need
terrain.
to do damage, they're animated rubber ducks and they nip.
Oh.
with
Right.
teeth.
Ducks with teeth. Yeah. Classic.
Did any of you have like Adelaide's vision sort of changed as the AP went on? How about the rest of you? Your characters turned out differently than you thought they might when we first started out on this path?
Oh, absolutely. There was a lot of anticipation as far as, you know, Iris is concerned, I was like, oh well, I'm making this, you know,
Were you gonna be a charisma-based fighter at the beginning? Or
yeah,
soldier?
charisma based law officer type, and that was kind of, you know, before all of that unpleasantness happened.
2020 was a
And,
wild
That's
ride.
one word for it.
and we also kind of lost Seth, we initially had like kind of tied characters that were like tied together, you know. There was a lot of deviation from the initial
Plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys remember back in book 1 when Iris was all, I am a steward and you will listen to me. Brr.
yeah, I do.
I'm an officer of the
Yeah.
law.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the biggest change character wise of all of us, for sure, was Iris's shift from being an officer of the law to not really knowing where they fit in.
Mm.
Is that fair to
Yeah.
say?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, Ogden finding out that he was not actually an agent of Directive 9 didn't really change his outlook much. Like, he still had a skill set that he could use to help the team. And he just sort of chose not to think about
Yeah.
where he got that skill set from because it hurt his brain a little bit.
Yeah, it was
Adelaide
pretty
embraced it.
it was very easy for Adelaide. It was very difficult for Lasco, but I think he managed to. You know, he'd like spent his whole life building up this criminal empire, and then he realized that he hadn't. But I think he managed to like handle it by just sort of remapping his criminal empire onto a different thing a different family, a different like group. And so he like remapped from the criminal empire to the party, and then he remapped from the party to Absalom Station. So that sort of
Right.
reframing was how he avoided going mad, like Iris kinda did.
Yeah, it kind of broke Iris. It's
Yeah.
kind of sad.
it did for a while.
Yeah.
Ogden turned
And
out to be
all
a
of
lot
us
better
who-
at shooting than I intended him to be at the beginning. I designed him to be more. I originally conceived of him as Q, not as James Bond. But then I realized that Q probably wouldn't be that interesting to play for me personally, because I tend to play characters that are good at fighting, because that's one of the things that I enjoy about TTRPGs is succeeding in combat, because combat is, like it or not, a large portion of D20 systems.
What? No.
Especially
Yeah, I know.
Starfinder and
Crazy.
Pathfinder. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I then morphed him over to, okay, well, what if he's like, you know, Q and James Bond sort of combined a little bit, but Q was always more techie and less into the poisons and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to be an assassin then. I guess that's really what's happening. But yeah, we talked about going into this game, how we were all going to sort of step back from focusing combat too much. I don't know if we've ever talked about this on stream, but like we all sort of tried to not optimize, which I think is apparent. I hope is apparent. We accidentally became pretty good at combat anyway, I think, because
Lasco was very strong.
Yeah, unarmed strikes are great. An operative is good. Soldiers are always going to be generally good at hitting things. But yeah, so I intentionally went into this without maxing out Ogden's dexterity like I once would have. And I don't know.
I mean, but maxing out your dexterity is good, but it's not the only way that one optimizes a character. I feel like we all generally try to make relatively powerful characters.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a lot of fun to play a character that isn't effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless that's what you find fun, and if that's what you find fun, that's great.
Yeah, I think that. So I've been watching some there's like some video interviews between the McElroy brothers and the guy who runs Dimension 20, and like they were talking a lot about how like what players find frustrating is players don't mind failing, they mind inconsistencies. So like when you have an idea of your fighter being like good at fighting, but then he rolls in that one, if you say like, oh, you slip on a banana peel, that like feels bad because like, well, my guy wouldn't slip on a banana peel. But if you like describe it as them failing in a realistic way, like the other guy just holds up a really lucky shield, then suddenly it feels good. So I feel like there are ways we could be better about that. About like you can make I think it's possible to make being bad at something like part of your shtick, part of your character.
Yeah. Yeah, and believe me, I am not standing here saying, "Oh well, I'm such a good TTRPG player. I didn't max out my dexterity stat." I am full aware of my proclivities for building characters that are extremely good at one thing. Ogden, perception.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Identification.
identification,
Identifying
yeah, in
everything.
general. Yeah, Ogden had really great mental stats, and that was very pleasing to play. It's a lot of fun being knowledgeable
Good at something.
as a character. Yes, yeah. To compare the two, Ninden was really, really, really pronking good at hitting things and taking damage, and getting swallowed by large monsters. Ogden is not good at any of those things, but they were both cool characters to play.
And then throwing himself off things. Oh, so
Oh
good.
my god, I
Good
love
times.
it.
Yeah, he did have a couple rough fights in that last book.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Buttstubble wants to know who your favorite NPC was and why. Over the course of this AP. I think Vorson was my favorite. I love
Well,
Vorson.
yeah.
That
Yeah, that much
hardball
was clear.
detective.
I was-
Oh.
Yeah, that was going to be my favorite as well. Because we haven't had many
Okay.
likable NPCs, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah. In some ways,
we've
had...
mostly killed them. We've left a trail of death and destruction in our wake because most of the trail that we found was laden with greys and or reptoids.
What's the Barathu? What were they from the collective?
Verifier key.
Yes.
Yes.
Partly because they
Oh,
were
yeah, they were
effective in
cool.
combat. Yay, envoys!
Yeah, they were great.
Really expected them to turn on us like everyone else did, but no, they were cool. They
Yeah.
just thought.
Well,
Yeah,
there was
and then
that
they helped you in your investigation later. Like,
Yeah.
got confidence on your side, got your name cleared. Verifier key was great.
Well, and there was that whole thing of like worrying that that whole escort quest was going to suck because escort quests usually suck, but instead it's like, oh, you're helping. This is fantastic. More of those, please. Dear writers, more of
Yeah,
those, please.
Starfinder does escort quests a lot better than most video games. Video game escort quests.
Most
always suck.
MMOs, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
NPCs
that's
never
the
walk
genre
at
where
the
the
same
most-
speed as you.
Oh,
I mean, we could simulate that by giving every escort quest NPC like a 15-foot move speed.
Cool.
no, thank you.
Cool.
They only walk
Oh,
slightly.
you don't want?
They
Oh,
walk half the speed, so you give them like a 20-foot movement speed.
right. Just slow enough that you can't go full speed, or you go full speed and then you have to slow down. Go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
oh.
exactly what I want out of my game. Yeah.
What? That's not what you want?
Sleep Tom is taking notes.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the new game too soon.
We are going to talk about the new game, but
I don't know if we should while Tom's out of frame.
No, but
we
should.
shouldn't. We shouldn't do while Tom's out of frame. Leif, do you have a favorite NPC?
Oh goodness, they're all so wonderful. I just can't choose. I'm still recovering from being paranoid about literally every single character you threw at us.
Yeah.
Favorite NPC? Oof.
Buttstubble points out the space paladin with the sword ship was pretty cool.
Yeah, but
I
we
know
had like
it's-
one scene.
I did like them. I was disappointed that big sword on the front was not in fact for ramming though.
I was
Yeah.
super disappointed by that shit.
What
yeah.
a yeah,
What's the point?
wasted
been for ramming.
potential.
Yeah. Yeah. The art suggested that it should just ram things. Oh, another good one from Butt Stubble. What classes, character choices didn't make it onto this final team? What were other things you guys considered, if you could think back that far to when we started this?
That was like a year ago, man.
What was? Repeat the question.
What classes, character choices didn't make it into the final team? What were things you guys considered for TFC that you didn't end up playing?
Ogden was almost a Technomancer Mystic multiclasser. Completely different direction. My goal, it was a weird build that I had, because if you multi-class Mystic and Technomancer, you get, I think, almost every single skill as a class skill, and then you just take like synergy for acrobatics and or athletics, I think. And then he was just going to have a whole bunch of support spells and blasting spells, and he could use spell gems from both casting lists. This was not taking Witch Warper into account.
Mhm.
But yeah, he would have been solely focused on casting spells and supporting, like Supercharge and stuff like that. Because Supercharge is a great level 1 spell that doesn't cost you anything in terms of attack rolls. So, yeah.
I mean, he still ended up supporting.
He did, yeah. Just alternating with anti-supporting.
Poisoning. Yeah.
Poisoning the bad guys, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Adelaide wound up being a lot more crowd control via environment rather than crowd control by like debuffs. She did have like a few with, eventually the Baleful Polymorph in that one time. But she was gonna be more like trying to touch, like, until I was like, no, I don't want her close enough to have to do touch spells.
It's scary only getting 5
it's
SP
so
and HP per level.
scary. So scary.
That's what stops me from building a melee Witch Warper. Aside from the fact that I still can't quite grok how the Witch Warper is supposed to work. You did a really nice job playing her. Like, Adelaide turned out to be really, really cool. But I just don't know if I would enjoy playing a Witch Warper.
I just have the same problem with all spellcasters, honestly. And like, especially in Starfinder with like the fewer spell level and no amazing cantrips.
Cantrips in PF2.
Just love those cantrips in PF2. We're never gonna get over that.
And Chain Lightning. That's not a cantrip though.
That's off topic. If you guys want to know how Tom kills everything with Chain Lightning, go ask in general on Discord. We'll tell you all about it.
Unlimited power.
He's getting way spoiled. I'll say that.
What about
what other?
Oh, I was gonna ask because I didn't hear if Iris.
Other people the
anything.
same question. Yeah.
Leif, did anything change with? Oh, you're muted now.
Leif, you're talking to yourself.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that I'm being more liberal with my unmutedness.
Yeah.
Since we're not like actually in game. I mean, Iris is a soldier, so like, there really wasn't ever anything else that they were going to be. As far as like nuance and stuff, I don't know. I think what I did with Iris was I went down the list. I was like, okay, well, I did. I've done an intelligence-based soldier. I've done a wisdom-based soldier. You guys didn't get to see that one, but Zadian. Oh, power armor.
Zadian.
Just power armor, but otherwise he was shrimpy. But yeah, that's beside the point. He's just one of my favorites of all time. So I went down the list and was like, okay, well, I guess I got to make a charisma one now. Oh, this lines up because we're doing a, intrigue AP. It'll be perfect. So Iris was just kind of destined to exist, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if Laska changed much. I I wanted the idea of the character based off of like John Marcone just seemed very appropriate for TFC. I don't know if he was going to be any other classes. I might have toyed around with making him an envoy, but I had already done that on stream, and I didn't feel the need to do it again.
Mm.
The melee decision was mostly just like the. I think I designed last go around when Calm came out, which is the book that had the Death Strike exploit. So I wanted to play around with that mechanically.
The edgiest / most anime sounding of all the operative exploits.
Yes,
Death Strike. That's a good.
Such an
It's a
edgelord.
great exploit. It's a great
It
exploit
is.
though. It really
It
opened up
is.
melee operative builds quite a lot.
What about Adelaide?
Yeah.
I've
I
heard you
mean,
talked about Adelaide.
yeah, I had gone in knowing that I wanted to do a sort of evil lawyer, rule bending, rules of the universe bending witch warper. And I did what I usually do, which is I'm like, okay, I want to play this and I want to have this skill. Hey Tom, what race should I play? And Tom is like, featherweight human. And I'm like, there we go. And then that's how I built her backstory. I'm like, okay, if she was a feather light human, then she must have grown up without a lot of gravity and it wrote itself.
I'm just happy that my weird ability to like digest and absorb all of the rule books into my head has been used by other people too. I'm happy to be a resource.
Tom is
And
a great resource. We all go to like anytime we're like, oh man, I don't know what to do. Tom,
Yeah, I don't
Tom, you know what's in all the books? What's new and exciting? Tell us more.
I don't even know how to buy like equipment. I don't look at equipment lists. I go, Tom, or sometimes Leif. I have money. What should I do with it?
I have 100,000 credits because I haven't spent anything in 3 levels and we're level 12. Oh, buy a Mark III ability upgrade. That's something that you can never normally do in an AP, but we've just gotten so much prunking money. So go buy that. That solves your problem.
And it did. It
Very
really
quickly,
did.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Got a lot of resources in this AP. It's true.
Yeah, towards the end, it was really good. Really broke the mold on, we're starved for resources, which I feel in
Yeah,
every other Starfinder
I guess
AP.
that's true.
To be
do you
fair,
think
you
we got
would-
more stuff in this one than
We
Donna's
got a
Flame?
lot of money. In terms of straight cash that we could then turn into resources, absolutely. In the
Interesting.
last two books.
It also helps that this time you guys like started out in the Vast and ended at Upsilon Station.
Yeah,
Other
usually it's
APs
the other
have
way around.
started in Civilization and
Yeah.
you've ended out like way out in the vast of space where it's like, got
you
resources, but
buy
you can't
things?
shop. There's no shops.
I mean, you can
Ah.
construct stuff, right? Like Starfinder
Yeah.
kind of smoothed that over. All you need is someone, a mystic or an
Well,
engineer.
Yeah.
We
And
smoothed it over.
a workshop. Yeah, we also yeah. Nick at
Was
one
that
point
not Raw?
described
Well, I mean, raw, you would have to like sell them for UPBs, which you can't really do out in space.
no, you can
And I've
you
sort
can
of
break
just let you
things.
like.
You can break things down.
I don't think there's
into
actually a rule for it, is there? Maybe there is.
I'm fairly certain there is. But I
thought
do
that was
remember
just me
Nick
being
describing it.
benevolent.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you are a kind and benevolent GM. Don't get me wrong. I remember
would
Nick
probably have to
describing
make
it in our Dead Sons game, describing it as the UPB machine, because
Yeah.
we were Dead
Recycler.
Sons. Yeah, Dead Sons has no provisions for the fact that, well, after a certain point in the AP, let's call it about halfway through, you're not going to be in Civilization anymore, so you don't get to go buy things anymore. But yeah,
Like you guys just have a recycler on the ship. You just throw
Yep.
things in it and it gives you 10% UPBs back.
yeah. I
Because
think
it's
it
space.
mentions. I think the core rulebook mentions breaking things down into that 10%. You just it just takes time.
Yeah.
Food
Um,
processor.
Maybe that's it.
And
Maybe
you
I
need to
just
have
hand
the
waved the
appropriate
future.
workshop, an arcane workshop or a tech workshop or
I'm
whatever
sure
the
Tom is right,
flame.
Ghost. Tom is the not a rules lawyer, maybe the rules
Advocate?
librarian.
Yeah, that one.
Advisor?
Besides,
I like librarian.
we need to shift our sucking up from Nick onto Tom now, because
Oh,
Tom
you're
is
right.
now going to be our benevolent
And now I
dictator.
can use all of my knowledge for evil. I mean, good.
No,
Rules
More good.
professor.
Rules professor.
That's it.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes. Master of
I'll,
rules.
I'll start wearing jackets with the little elbow
Wait.
patches on them.
Oh, like most of my shirts, yeah. I have very sharp elbows.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
He literally wears holes in the elbows, and I have patched them. Although he's worn those out.
Sharp elbows, like I said. I don't know what else to do.
Well, what else? What else? Interesting. Oh, Butzel asked me if there was enemy I didn't get to use and wish that I could. There were some dinosaurs way back in book 2 that I didn't throw at these guys. Yeah, in the lab, there were supposed to be more of those phase encounters. Like you guys fought those Tashtaris in the hallway that were like seeping through holes in reality because the phase reactor was melting down. You remember that? There were a bunch more of those encounters. But I didn't get to run all of them because we just ran out of time. We didn't have all the encounters there. And there were some dinosaurs, and I really wanted to make them fight phase shifting dinosaurs. But
that would have been fun.
Phase shifting, Tom? Fun? Really?
Well, I can say that now from my vantage on high in the future. Past Tom probably would have been like, but you know.
Oh yes, you guys would have been very That was part of why I cut it out, because you guys were already having like a very long day. There was nowhere for you to stop and rest, and I wanted you to get to the actual meltdown part and have the Reptoid stewards rescue you. You know,
the totally legitimate stewards.
We were the totally legitimate stewards. We were running over. I remember Leif hecking suspected them immediately. Was so suspicious, and I was like, dude, they've given you no reason to be suspicious. Why are you this way?
Because that's the name of the AP.
You remember that, Leif? You're talking to yourself again.
Oh, I do vaguely remember that.
Well, Leif said it before.
Immediately
this AP really did teach us to be suspicious of everyone, and it's been exhausting, if I can say. This has been a great AP, don't get me wrong, but not trusting anyone except like Vic Forsman and his Hector, thank you, his associate. That's exhausting. That's very isolating.
Even Zig Vorsen we were suspicious of for a pretty long time too.
You were, but then you also got like Verifier Key and Confluence and Terminal. Towards the end, you really built up a very good network.
Yeah, although I mean, I had a hard time trusting Terminal even, because we never really met and didn't know what their deal was.
Terminal may or may not be a sentient bit of code.
Cute.
Love it.
And yet also annoying.
Oh, incredibly. No. Terminal is in my head, like the book never confirms this, but in my head, I was playing Terminal as like this algorithm that just like gains sentience, and has learned from the internet and
to live for the lulz
and talks in memes.
And talks in memes. Which I wish I had had a better way. I really thought about doing it all like in chat, but then it wouldn't translate over to our podcast.
No.
Oh,
if we'd been playing this as a game just for us, it would have all been in chat, just memes. That would have been all you got from Terminal.
Oh my god.
That's like the Kenku, or Tengu, if you will. Or Kenku and D&D only talk making sounds that they've heard, right? Like that's the only way they communicate. So like the same kind of thing, but with code and memes. That's wild.
But what's the name of that?
But the Office memes.
Yeah.
What's the name of that species? It's like a cuttlefish that only talks in emojis.
Yes, the Stellifera. Yeah, that was, oh my god, that was back in our Aeon Throne game. because that's when they were first introduced. And yeah, Nick had them just because we didn't share a language. Because Stellafera, like, they talk, but we didn't have a language with them, so they just spoke in emojis, and it was or
Adorable.
flashing lights.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that particular Stellafera was in like a suit that had like emoji things on it because they were a merchant
right.
who didn't always share language with
Mm.
people. So they had a telepathic emoji thing. Yeah.
I love the
No,
Stellafera
Ghost.
so much.
It doesn't talk. No, Terminal doesn't talk in XML. You're a monster.
I assume this is a coding joke.
Probably.
Yes, XML is a
Yes.
sort
yes.
of old data format.
Yeah, that's hence monster. Jet wanted to know one last icebreaker question. We'll sneak it in. What cute print socks would each of your characters wear
Oh my goodness.
if they wore cute print socks? Which I mean, now you're all like private citizens. Without, I mean, you probably still got some grays and the reptoids probably showing up on the fringes of your life forever. But now you have time to shop for cute print socks. What kind of cute print socks?
Sorry. Cute print socks?
As in,
Yes.
like,
Are you
little
not-
hamburgers or, like, you know, hedgehogs on your socks. I don't know if somebody
Like,
had something like that.
remember when your company sent you those socks with your logo on it?
Yeah, I guess. They were too thin.
Yeah, that's my problem with cute print socks as well. They're too
They
thin.
usually are. Yeah, they're usually cheap. Tom,
Ooh.
what kind of socks does Ogden
Um,
buy?
I'm gonna
From
reach out at
Spamazon?
what Butt Stubble just posted, and yeah, Ogden would have Burger Time, officially licensed Burger Time socks, or Burger Club.
Who's selling
one
the
or the other.
officially licensed Burger Club socks?
Let's see. It's
Dawn of Flame.
obviously Herald. Herald has
yes,
become the
yes.
face of Burger Club print socks.
Yes, it is now
Um,
it's a
well-
subsidiary of Pinnacle. Also runs a fast food
Yeah.
chain.
Yep. Perfect.
That's right. Yeah.
Adelaide would have little Electrovore socks. I'm trying to decide. I think that the socks look like Electrovores rather than having little Electrovores on them.
Very cute.
Mm.
Very cute. Leif, what about Iris? What kind of novelty socks do they got?
In the never-ending struggle for Android freedom everywhere, there's no time for cute print socks, I'm afraid.
If there were
Not
time.
even for fundraising?
Not even for fundraising, and I'm not.
What if there
not
were-
just because I'm drawing a blank on this one.
No,
Uh-huh.
certainly not.
If there were time, Leif.
There just isn't. It's not conceivable.
Oh, boy.
Inconceivable.
All right, I've asked everyone else. Simon?
Yeah, I'm also struggling with this one, but I will steal the idea that Leif rejected, which is for fundraising, or for campaign fundraising, he will sell Absalom Station socks
Any little Absalom stations on them?
with googly eyes.
Aw, very cute.
Oh.
They love the googly eyes. They bring in way
Oh.
more campaign funds than the non-googly eye socks.
They had focus
Yeah.
groups.
You know.
Adelaide
Yeah.
ran focus groups.
Of course she did. That's her jam. I would totally wear Absalom Station socks. Dear Paizo, please make us Absalom Station socks. We will buy them and wear them. At least me and Jet
Mm.
will.
I
They're
mean, adorable.
You say they're endorsed by Non-Standard Actions Lasco for his
Yeah.
campaign run on Absalom Station.
Hi, I'm Lasco, and these are my favorite socks on Absalom Station.
On the station, yes.
Yes.
Vote Aram.
Vote Aram.
Oh yeah, not Lasco. I'm not Lasco. I don't know
Well,
who that is.
now I'm picturing.
Yeah,
Now I'm
yeah.
trying to
Dr. Aram,
picture.
and these are my favorite socks on the station.
Uh-huh.
Given Lasco's little spats, though, can you imagine him wearing the socks? Like, do his claws stick out the front? Or how do we want to think that
There
works?
aren't even any socks on that art.
Yeah.
I don't think
They're
you wear
spats.
socks. I never thought about this.
Yusoki traditionally don't seem to wear
Wear a lot
footwear.
of socks. Yeah, you're right.
I
So
mean,
I'm
Yeah,
going zooming in. I don't think Seth drew
spats
any
were a
socks.
point. The spats were a sticking point in the art creation, anyway, if I
They
remember
were.
correctly.
They were very contentious. Seth had me do a lot of research on some like furry art pages to figure out what shoes could possibly look like for Yosoki.
See, all because
Uh-huh.
I heckled them.
It's a fun dive, I'm sure.
I was like, "Is your character really not gonna wear shoes? I'm gonna make all kinds of caltrops on the floor if your character doesn't wear shoes." And I wasn't serious. I wasn't actually. I was like, not actually going to punish Simon for his art not having shoes. I'm like,
And yet,
for the
But I
record,
was
I was just
and
giving them flame, but
sure. But I was happy with the shoes, and I think it gave him a more sophisticated air as I was going.
yeah.
it turned out
Yeah,
really well.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is why you got to give your
Which
players
is
a
why.
little bit of flame. Just push them to be a little bit better.
And if you want art, if you want good art, Seth.
Give
Seth is great.
player
Go to Seth.
flee.
I see you over there taking notes.
Yeah.
Which is probably a good transition to what's happening with our next series.
So exciting.
As many of you know, we closed our guessing game contest last night. Our high score was 6. I don't recognize the email address because I forgot to put what's your Discord handle in the quiz. So I'll release the scores today and reach out to the winner, figure out how they want to be congratulated, and we'll do that publicly on Discord because we don't want to short our winner, bragging rights. Gotta
Yeah.
have bragging rights.
Oh,
But we
yeah.
also don't want to expose their email address.
No.
But we also don't want to just give your email address to everybody on our Discord server. Yeah.
All these 9
Oh,
viewers, they're gonna
actually.
spam the hell out of you.
Yeah. Everybody on our Discord server is awful.
Uh-huh.
That's not
Yeah.
true. Everyone on our Discord server is lovely.
Way to go, hot stuff 6969. You're a winner.
Nice.
But I'm actually going to
no one
release
claiming?
those scores right now. So if you submitted a response, you can check your email here shortly and see what score you got. And we'll go over what the answers were right now. Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Sure. Yeah, we're only an hour in.
Yeah.
Do we need to take a break?
No, I'm
I
good.
think so.
No. Yeah. Do we want to tell
So-
everybody what everybody's playing, or
I
do we
made-
want to?
I
Is that
made
not
some
the plan?
shiny slides, and the answers are in
Ooh.
folks' emails already.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Cool.
So everybody who, submitted a
hearing it.
response is gonna know what the answers are.
They're hearing it first.
But
we're
still only showing the silhouettes of the art and not the.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll
Okay.
start with this
That was what I was asking.
first slide. Everyone looking at Roll20? Everybody ready?
I'm looking at Roll20.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
I'm looking.
All right. First slide.
Oh,
Whose character is this?
Oh, sorry. Let me get that into frame real quick, Aroni. Whoop.
Ah.
are we supposed to claim this character if it's ours, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe tell us a
because they
little
will
bit
know when they get the results. Yeah.
when they get their email. Yes.
It's mine! Auntie
Woo!
Nuna is a Kasatha outlaw envoy. And, if you think that Adelaide was duplicitous is not quite the right word, but if you thought
Conniving?
that, Auntie Nuna is
Stabbing?
not
Wait, hold on.
conniving. Huh? Leaf, what was that?
We're just giving you a hard time. We're giving you Fleam as per Nick's notes.
I see. Well, if you thought that Adelaide had a bit of a past, Auntie Nuna can give her a run for her money. But you wouldn't suspect it, as she's an elderly Kasatha. She likes to knit and drink tea. And also, I'm still working on her voice. Gotta hit that basis of sounding aged without ruining my voice by doing it for 4 hours.
Agreed.
Yeah, the voices are still in workshop, but
Oh,
one of these
man.
days we got to put it out there.
But you know what?
Well-
we got 2 weeks, right? That's
Simon's-
ages. That's ages for me to finish prepping.
Simon's voice is going to be great. Is great. Basically,
You're just putting so much pressure on me.
Anyhow, Adelaide was a debuffer, so Auntie Nuna is going to be a buffer. She's going to be a support character who helps the rest of the crew be their best.
I'm very
Very
excited
nice.
for Auntie Nuna. I pronking love all of your characters, so I'm gonna say that about every one of your characters. But yeah, Auntie Nuna's gonna be really cool.
Yes. And if you can tell from the speaking of adorable footwear, I don't know if you can tell it very well from the silhouette, but she is wearing Squawk's slippers. They were originally bunny slippers, and I'm like, they don't have bunnies in space. They do have Squawks.
There are no rabbits in space.
I'm not sure. There might be rabbits in space, but I do love those slippers. You guys will get to see the full slippers when we start releasing the full art next week.
Mhm.
I'm gonna move
Yep.
this ribbon. Are we ready? Who's next?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whose is
snap.
this?
It's Ketch. That would be mine. Ketch is a tiefling mechanic who grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. He's super. He's just a gearhead. He's super into street racing with not so strictly legally procured street racing vehicles, and yeah, when they're not doing that, you can catch them down at the lower level bars on Absalom Station, the rough and tumble
man.
places.
Are
You
they
can-
a pool shark?
Yes, that was intentional.
Okay.
You want to tell us maybe a little bit about the mechanics you're gonna be playing?
Yeah, because you're
Oh,
for once
goodness.
not playing
Yeah,
a soldier.
not just-
What
not just any
what's
mechanic.
your type?
They he is super into weapon prototypes, so he's going to be a weapon prototype mechanic. We're going to get to
And-
explore that new iteration of mechanics. Not so new, but new to me.
It's gonna be a lot
It's
of
new
fun.
to this party. Yeah, nobody's played one of the
what's-
prototype mechanics here.
Yeah.
You all may be incredibly shocked to realize that I am not playing a soldier this time around. Yes.
Right.
I was
First
very shocked.
time.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be
Not the
now?
only one
Remember
with
life.
that.
Remember life. Your base attack bonus is not 1-to-1.
I would not remember that. Fortunately, I don't need to remember that. Thank you, Roll20.
Yay!
What's Catch's like party role?
Oh, yeah, well, obviously mechanics, so they're going to be the mechanic. They're going to be and anytime you're looking for him, he's probably going to be holed up in the engine room. Or possibly the well, who am I kidding? Our ship's not going to have any sort of like why can't I remember what it's called? Fabrication plant. Tech workshop,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah, you're just working a company rig right now.
Yeah,
There's,
so
like-
Right
yeah.
now, what was that, Tom?
I said at the start of the AP, you're just working a company rig, Simon.
It's an interesting emphasis, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
it is,
it
isn't
is.
it? You mean you expected to have the same job for the 6 books of the AP, Simon?
Yeah, I was getting ready to just pick up boxes and move them to a pile of boxes.
Yeah,
6 books of that.
that's what this adventure is going to be. It's just going to be everything going right for you all, and
The
you're going to get steady promotions, and
The boxes better get pretty
Uh-huh.
heavy by the time we hit book 6, though.
Yeah. Oh, these are going to be some epic tier boxes, Simon. Don't you
Yeah.
worry.
All
Box
right.
CR13. Roll to pick it up.
CR13 box. It's a mimic. Oh no!
We
You guys
step
can
back
have
and
one
let
of
the real
those. That was a
adventurers
fun-
handle it.
That was a fun one. That vending machine mimic was great.
That was pretty
Oh my-
funny. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna drop this ribbon again. Ready?
Who's
it gonna be?
Ready. Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
Oh, snap.
Yes, we are Marioth. We have been at Edge Corp Company for many years. We find that the job is tolerable. And, since we don't need a room, it's very easy for the company to keep us on. Yes, Marioth is a Spathinae colony, a swarm of bugs who are in aggregate a sentient entity.
Wasn't
They
this
are
the one that like nearly everybody guessed?
Yeah, I have elsewhere spoken about how I'm fascinated by the Spathinae.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not-
think that was the most common right answer that anybody got was that Simon was going to play Spathinae, but a lot of people got the class wrong.
Yeah, the class is an interesting one. I'm not sure if how deeply I want to detail it right now because Marioth doesn't like use their Solarian powers much, if at all. Since as Tom mentioned, right now we really just pick up boxes and put them on other boxes, and in a way you could sort of in thinking of our roles at the beginning of the book, the phrase "wasted potential" has been thrown around as a common theme.
Yes. Yeah. Although, counterpoint would be that space is dangerous. There are dangerous people out there, and you have to occasionally defend your product. So it's not unheard of for employees to go around armed, especially on long hauls.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess that's so two points I'll bring up. I think I mispronounced Marayoth. I keep on Marayoth is the right pronunciation. We keep on wanting to call them Marioth because that like feels more. I think that's the more intuitive English pronunciation, but it's not the one I
It's
want
gonna
to
be
go
Mary the whole
with.
time.
No, it's not. It's Marayoth. If you wish to shorten it, Maray would make more sense.
Oh, this is gonna be a
Mary
Mary.
isn't even a subset of the phoneme. But I
Yeah,
suppose
alright,
it is
Mary.
up to you.
Fair enough. I found the number. 7 out of 9 responses got Simon's race correct.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I like bugs.
And
Most of them, I guess I
also,
like distributed consciousnesses. It doesn't have
Yeah,
to
I was
be
gonna
bugs.
say.
One got the class, not one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
because
I have-
similar to Leif, Leif always plays soldier. Simon always prefers operatives, even if he hasn't always played an operative on the show.
Yeah. Solarian's an interesting choice. Well, I was frustrated, as everyone who has ever rolled a Solarian has, by the low number of skills you get. Like, how do I go from an operative to a Solarian? It's going to be very frustrating.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I'm-
Going
You
from a
just have to
soldier
find
to
other
a
things to do with your
mechanic?
time. Like my Solarian in Attack of the Swarm is constantly trying to get the food processor to make cherry pie, and he can't do it. Got no engineering.
Yeah. Doesn't
Gets his
doesn't have
Maria-
sticks while other people are doing things.
Marayoth has a lot of potential to do hijinks on the ship.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so many.
I am still disturbed by the fact that we have an infestation of one of our crewmates
Yeah.
in the vents.
It saves a room in the ship. You can have so the company can give you a smaller ship. That's why they like Marayoth.
I mean, I'm thinking I can think of so many ways to make it grosser, but I'm not because Nick really hates bugs.
I grew up in Alaska. We don't have bugs. We have giant mosquitoes, and that's about it. Back me up here, Leif. You're talking to
muted,
yourself.
but you nodded, so that's probably good enough.
Yeah, you did the awkward reverse mute.
Damn it.
Unrelated,
Yeah,
but these guys have been
yeah.
listening to me a lot talk about how the heck am I going to find an apartment? How will I know if it has cockroaches? That's the thing I have to worry about if I move to the States. Oh no! Oh gosh, I don't know anything about this.
My apartment doesn't have cockroaches.
Yeah,
and I
mine
live in
doesn't
the
either.
States.
I had to look up how to know, man. How,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I
does
figure
one know?
Marayoth probably does shoot his like purple bolts. So not his. Shoot their purple bolts, and I figure that most people who encounter them probably just chalk it up to more Spathinae weirdness because they are very weird.
They're so weird.
I'm really excited about being very weird, guys. It's
Oh man.
If there's one thing Simon likes, it is being weird.
We joked around about Simon's character being a what class was it? The nanite,
Right.
the nanosite,
Nanosite.
Yeah.
where perhaps each of the bugs is a little mechanic piloting a tiny drone.
Yeah. That would be
You
that.
know,
That would be a lot.
Marath probably keeps all the other bugs out of our vents with
Yeah.
her slurring powers.
Marayoth.
Marayoth. I'm just gonna say it
Yes,
100 times, like I did with
Marayoth. Marayoth.
Medlon
Yeah, focus on the
Comic-Con.
A. It's
He
easier
did it.
to just like Marayoth, yeah.
Marayoth.
Yeah.
Oh, how would they interact with other bugs? They kill them?
Non-sentient bugs.
I am
Yeah,
sorry
non-sentient
that you
bugs.
do not have a hive like mine.
I'll
Join
need
my
to
hive.
think about that. I
You
have a
convert
few
them?
different
Do they
ideas.
become part of your swarm?
Yeah, well,
Just like adopt the other bugs?
I'm torn. Spathinae is like bees don't adopt other bugs, right? Ants don't adopt
Yeah.
other bugs. They
Yeah.
eat those bugs. I think
Bugs.
that
Just do what you want.
it's true.
You could be
True,
bored bugs. Like
Marayoth
Nimbus
are way
bugs.
smarter.
So
I'll think about this.
it's-
I'll think about this.
So no,
We'll
hold
come
on.
up with an answer.
It's perfect. Think about it like this. It's like the uplifted bear thing, but every time you come across a new insect, you uplift it and add it into your own collective
Lifted
consciousness.
cockroach, yes.
Yeah.
Because you gotta
Oh.
imagine, like, as you take damage in combat, you're
Oh, yeah,
probably
they're
losing
dying.
like a few bugs.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
least.
yeah. Tens or
Oh,
hundreds
easily.
of bucks,
Yeah.
depending on the hit.
Uh,
Yeah, everyone in the colony is very, they're very, very memento mori. They accept death as a part of life, and they're each of the constituents' lives are only like, I don't know, probably a week at best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then how does
I
that
like-
create the longevity of the colony? You just
Oh, the
continue
reproductive
absorbing-
cycle is like a day.
Okay, all right, yep. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Like Budstubble's
Marayoth
image
is just
of Marayoth
constantly-
handing out like tiny pamphlets to other bugs.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, so each of the constituents is unintelligent, right? The idea is that only in aggregate are they anything resembling sentient.
So it's like
So
combined
it's-
processing power kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yes,
Like
so
the Geth.
they can. So yeah, kind of like the
Like
Geth.
the
So
Geth.
other bugs can only really join if they're able to communicate with enough like bandwidth to the rest, and that probably depends on what their communication organs are. If they like communicate by scent, that's probably Yeah, I'll think about this. Maybe some bugs, not others.
I like
We
it.
can move on. I can talk about Marayoth all day, but we should probably talk about other characters.
Yeah. I need to move the ribbon again. Sorry. I was doing some planning and that I should have done yesterday. Let me move this ribbon. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Oh, it's me!
Yay!
It's me. I'm going to be playing Sloane. Sloane, as you can see, is a ASMR space pirate operative. Auntie Nuna is actually Sloane's auntie, probably more than anybody else's. Auntie Nuna helped to raise her.
Mhm.
Grew up on a salvage ship. May or may not actually be qualified for this job as captain of this ship, but Auntie Nuna made a great resume, and well, you can't prove I'm lying. You can't prove I didn't work that ship. It got blown up. Everyone else is dead. I don't know what you want me to do. So I'm the operative this time.
Good stuff.
No, I never name my own characters, Steve. Just everybody else's characters. Although one of these days, I'm gonna have to make like Super Steve, for a campaign. Maybe that'll be
SS
the
for
next
short.
one. But I really thought we needed a female captain. This is series 4 and we haven't had like a female captain, and it was time. Sloane is also got a bit of a chip on her shoulder. We're gonna have an interesting dynamic between Sloane and Ketch, both being planar scions from opposite sides of the tracks. But also like probably get along pretty well, honestly. let's see. Yeah, so her role is, team leader. Building towards like a sword and pistol, very space pirate thing. Han Solo, Malcolm Reynolds inspired kind of character. You guys haven't gotten to see me play one of these characters, but this is one of my favorite archetypes to play. And Tom's probably up for some trouble. As Tom well knows, having played with my last space pirate in another game.
Well, I feel like the bill has come due. That's all right. That's
I'm gonna take the free trader archetype probably, unless Tom comes back and says no, that's going to be useless. So we can play around with some of those rules. That's exciting. Yeah, so Sloane's gonna be really good at all of the talking skills. Really good at lying to people. Really good at finding cargo, and taking care of her team. They're all sort of new here at the beginning, but I think she's gonna for sure
Except for
come
one
to
of
think
them.
of these. Except for Antonina. We're a package deal.
Yep.
And
Basically
Morayoth
going
has been
for
here for a while.
Yeah. We're basically going for the Uncle Iroh Prince Zuko dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah. Sloane might be a bit too hot-headed for her own good. Try to make bad decisions, and then Auntie Nina will be like, why don't we have a cup of tea? And think about this rationally. I'm thinking
Chasing the Avatar.
I'm thinking our dynamics probably a lot like what they had in Bossing Say when Uncle Iroh had the tea shop.
Yeah.
Like we're finally like settled and things are good. And Zuko can't fucking sit still. Pronking. I meant
save.
pronking.
Oh, yeah, nobody noticed.
No one noticed for sure. But Zuko is still like on a mission to capture the Avatar and regain his honor. Sloane's gonna have a similar kind of thing. Despite the fact that we have a ship and a crew, it's not going to be enough. And yeah, we'll see how that unfolds.
Yeah.
I do have one more character. If a new contender has appeared. I'm gonna drag this over. Jet, who is this person that I'm showing on the screen you can't see?
They have horns.
You can see with that 10-second delay.
Oh, you're deafened now, Jet.
Oh, Jet, you're deafened.
Oh, we can.
Hello. 1 second. I have to mute Twitch because I was just watching and enjoying.
Yeah, sorry. I meant to message you last night and be like, Jet, you want to come on tomorrow and talk about Gus? Because we're all going to talk about our characters.
All right. Well, this is Gus. I'm a noir prole nanocyte. I'm a miner formerly. Had a bit of an accident. Had to get out of there. Managed to finally talk my way onto a ship, and I don't want to go underground for a good long while.
Yeah.
And what's Gus's like role on the all that?
Gus is supposed to get between anyone that wants to hurt his crewmates, and he's going to be a little bit like Simon from Gurren and hopefully drill his way through any obstacles eventually.
Complete with, it looks like from this silhouette, a drill.
Yeah, that is an aspirational drill. I could not afford a drill. It is a level 2 piece of equipment.
No, that's good. We talked about aspirational art versus like, where we start art kind of deal. So yeah.
And Ninja, he's a minor, not a minor. He's actually like in his mid to late 40s.
Ninja, if you didn't make the joke, I was going to. So, yeah.
But that's Gus. He's supposed to be a big friendly goofball. And I'm gonna make him try so hard to be Catch's best friend.
Oh man. Because Catch is just so cool.
He's so cool.
He is super cool.
So cool.
You
I'm
can't even tell just from that silhouette, but when we got the art, we were all like,
no.
Whoa.
Total thirst trap. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait until you see the art. We all collectively were like, I think I'm like
A
kind of
little
attracted
uncomfortable
to
with how
Ketch.
sexy your art
I think-
is, like,
yeah.
just a little bit.
I think like the 5% of me that's like, is like, wow, all right, Ketch.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty
nice.
that was all of us. Yeah.
More credit for doing that, but like I really just put the idea in. How do you pronounce our new artist's
Nicola?
name?
Oh, yeah, how are we?
Nicola.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gave her the the deets, and she created
Yeah.
quite a
Amazingness.
character.
Itself.
That is right, yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm super excited to see a nanosite in play. This is, as anybody following Starfinder will know, a playtest class. If and when we get I don't remember when they're releasing the manual for this. That involves
feel
this
like
class.
July.
Which is the book?
It's Tech Revolution. August is what
Ninja says
Ninja is
August.
saying. So if and when we get that book in the middle of the campaign, if it makes sense to, we will convert Gus. But honestly,
As we
with
did with
our
the
with our yes, as we did with Ninden and the
The
Vanguard
nanites
class.
get an update and they have to reconfigure themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, maybe Gus has like one less stamina point per level, or maybe all of his
I
class
hope
abilities
not.
don't exist anymore, or
I hope not.
sorry, that was the Vanguard. But
You're not
That all
bitter or
happened.
anything.
That all happened.
no, and honestly, the Vanguard needed it. The Vanguard is still really strong. But yeah, so really excited for the nanosite. What focus is Gus going to be going on for his nanosite nanosite, the nanite, what do you call it, configurations? Tell us about the nanosite, Jet.
Tell you about the nanosite. I'm going to pull up my little binder here.
Ooh.
He's got a binder.
I've got a binder. I
Nice.
needed a binder.
Yeah, I mean, the
So-
nanosite is the most math intensive class I've
So
seen so far.
there's two things that you pay attention to with the nanosite. You've got your array, which allows you to sheathe yourself in nanites, exude clouds of nanites, and then you have the gear array. As far as the arrays go, I'm focusing on the gear array. I'm going to be manufacturing stuff out of nanites. And then as far as like an archetype, I'm focusing on obliteration.
Oh dear. That sounds
Any
ominous.
weapon I grab gains the penetrating quality and the boost quality. Doesn't even have to be something I manufacture.
That's pretty cool.
That is neat. Do
Yeah.
we want to talk a little bit about like builds? Because we're gonna release stories and art next week. But do we maybe want to talk a little bit about how we got to these builds and why we picked what we
Sure.
did, that kind of stuff?
I have no problem with that. Simon and I struggled a little bit. We had powwow sessions because we were trying to figure classes and stuff out. For a moment, there was almost 2 nanosites.
Yeah, we mentioned the tiny robots.
Yeah,
Tiny
Simon was
robots.
leaning into like, I think it's a toxin archetype for the nanosite or something like that, and focusing on
Oh,
the
the toxin one
clouds.
was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess this feels like slightly more the content of like after the campaign than before the campaign.
hmm. Yeah, we don't really know how they're going to evolve yet.
No,
Yeah.
no, we don't.
Well, we had some interesting discussions around our initial decisions. Like I know Tom and I teased that somebody had a homebrewed thing, and that's mine. Tom and I put together a smuggler specialization for operative because there was not an operative specialization that did what I wanted to do. We
Yeah.
bashed together what the detective and the spy, I think.
Yeah, I
do
think
it.
so. No, it was the detective and thief, because the thief
Detective
has
and the thief.
their level 11 specialization benefit that they get is like something about, oh, if a job goes wrong, you always have a provision, and that made perfect sense
Right.
for a smuggler, but it wasn't tied to anything that like Sloane isn't a thief, she's a smuggler, which is small distinction.
Yeah, and then we stole the specialization exploit of glimpse the truth off the detective. And
Yeah.
I think the associated skills, culture, and sense motive we took off the detective too.
Yeah. So when we say we homebrewed it, we cherry picked a few existing things and mashed them together to make a new specialization that just fit Sloan a little better. We were also looking at some third-party content, right? With that
Lots of
Owen
third-party
Casey
content.
Stevens wrote the gunslinger one you were looking at one point, which was that sounded pretty cool. But I understand that people like for I think Owen Casey Stevens I heard wrote the Pathfinder 1 conversion that's in the back of the Starfinder rulebook, and that the consensus on that is generally that it's a little overpowered. So it sounds like Owen Casey Stevens writes really cool stuff for Starfinder, but that it may not always be the most balanced.
Oh yeah,
Which is why
and it's all on
this was
it's all on
third-party
Drive Through
content.
RPG. If anybody
Yeah.
wants to go grab it, there are some great alternate class features and things. If you can let your obviously, buy your third-party content and then run it by your GM before you use any of it. Do not
Yeah.
bring
Yeah.
third-party content on your GMs. Be good players.
No, yeah.
But there's great stuff in there.
Yeah, definitely. And my thinking with it, because Nick approached me and was like, "Hey, so none of this really fits my character. How do you feel about third-party content?" My biggest thing was, and even with homebrewing, I just don't want it to overshadow anybody else or feel like it's too strong or whatever. So I am very confident that we have not broken the game. Never fear.
I have like
with
100 new options for operatives, all homebrew stuff now, and I didn't end up using any of it, but it was a lot of fun to read through.
and you supported creators, and that's great.
Yeah. Throw money at people who make cool content, guys.
Yeah,
They
It's
deserve
true.
it.
support art.
You're a patron of the arts.
Yes.
Yes.
Love being a patron of the arts.
Hmm.
But what about everybody else? Does anybody else struggle with their character decisions?
I struggled real hard to settle on a class. I
Mhm.
fairly early on settled on Noir. One of my longest lasting D&D characters ever was a Minotaur using the Savage Species rulebook from D&D 3.5. I got them from level 1 to level 23.
Wow.
And I kind of wanted to do a Minotaur. And Noir are baked right into the rules, and it's great. And then I was just struggling with class, and then I kind of fell into the nanosite, fell in love with it, and then Simon kind of fell in love with it a little bit, and then we were trying to figure out who was going to be it. Then we were both going to be it. Then I was spitballing with Simon, and I think I might have suggested Solarian. I think possibly,
Maybe.
I don't remember who suggested
and
it.
Simon kind of landed on that. And
Simon, how'd you end up? Yeah. I'm sure everyone wants to know. You're not playing an operative.
You went from one of the most skilled classes in the world to one of the least, skilled
skilled.
classes in the
Yeah,
world.
I don't know if I have a great story for this. I haven't played it. I think I saw. I was like just trying to find something that would like click with the Spathne, who I was like relatively attached to for this campaign. But I was struggling too because Spathne are weird, and I wanted something else that was kind of weird, but that. But yeah, like I struggled to think of like how it could be a soldier or anything like that. I'm not. And so I think Solarian appealed to me because it's. I want like I wanted the swarm not to just have a bunch of equipment. The swarm like carrying, wearing normal heavy armor and wielding a big gun on its shoulder.
It's an
Felt a
important
bit
question.
lame to me.
Yeah, like
So the fact that the Solarian sort of has natural weapons appealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we joked a lot about like, okay, so do they each have like their own tiny suit of armor, or is it like?
Yeah.
And then Simon specifically didn't want like a humanoid shaped swarm.
Right. Yeah. That was one of my clearest instructions to Anicola. I wanted it to be a swarm, and indeed it is. It does look like a swarm. She did fine work on that. But yeah, as for the armor thing, but the idea is that some of the constituents are in the same way that a city has like town guards, right? The constituents have the colony has dedicated constituents to like protecting the border from things, and they're the ones who wear the broken down armor.
I'm still convinced that Simon just wanted to make all of my layout work really hard.
It did make your layout work very difficult. I should
But
have.
you did
I
a
should
good
have
job.
specified. I should
Super
have
good.
asked the swarm to be taller than wide.
Eh.
Oh man.
Fine.
We should
It'll
take this
work out.
opportunity, by the way, to credit our wonderful artist who we found. I don't remember on whose recommendation. Might it have been
Good
Shades
question.
I
that
think it was
suggested
It was
Nicola?
Shades.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I think
I'm
so.
betting
Thank
it
you to
was.
everybody who suggested artists. But we ended up going with Nicola. We're super duper happy that we did.
Yeah.
She was great to work with.
Super
reasonable.
professional, super talented,
Yeah,
very reasonably
Awesome.
priced, and you
Put
know,
up with
really-
Simon's Fathenay craziness.
yeah,
Very,
no,
very tolerant of me
sainthood.
being very picky.
Hmm.
And me like changing my mind every 10 minutes. Yeah,
Mm.
very tolerant.
yeah.
There was a minor crisis with Gus and the drill, and then
Mm.
Gus and the strap on the drill. It was.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that strap.
Meanwhile, I'm over here with Sloan every step of the way. Perfect. You knew exact. Keep going.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
You're a much
Yeah,
better
we even
customer
had
than we are.
that was the same with me. I even got some art done, which you don't need to see because a silhouette of it would just look like a silhouette of me. So you'll see the art when the time
Uncanny
comes.
Valley. But
Yes,
at
yeah, it
least
is.
this time our GM will get to have a matching token in Discord with everybody else. That was
Mm.
important to me because I
Yeah.
felt a little bit left out all this season. Just saying.
Mm. Nick insisted on it, so it happened. But I would not have worried. But I understand and empathize. I'm not trying to mitigate your feelings of being left out. But yes, it's good art.
I just want everyone to match.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and it'll be good.
It's good.
It'll
art.
be a weird thing to explain to everybody on the other Discord servers that I'm on. Hey, why? Who's that in your art? Oh, it's me. It's just me.
No one's gonna
Oh, it's
ask.
so
Whoever
good.
asked
No one-
about
yeah.
Discord icons. No one has ever asked me why I have a rat person as my Discord icon.
I have had people say, I thought it was joking, admittedly, but it was somebody that I was playing for a playtest in, and they were like, I thought you would sound more reptilian because of your Ogden, because of my Ogden art as my
Mhm.
icon, but they were just giving me fleam.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, art is great. You
It
all are
is.
gonna pronking love it. You're gonna lose your mind when you see it, especially Catch again. Whew. Yeah.
Let's catch his last
Oh,
name.
yeah.
Catch
Yeah.
his last name is a self fan.
Yes. I'm Catch.
Catch has their
He's
own
a
soundtrack.
Catch.
They do something slightly dramatic, and then some cool music riffs in the background.
Oh man.
And then you get like those girls from Beauty and the Beast who all go,
Yes. The Silly Girls is what they're called. We ran Beauty and the Beast like 3 years ago at my elementary school, and they are in fact the Silly Girls.
yes,
Um,
yes.
That's their name.
Which, you know, a bit
They're just gonna
derogatory, but that is their one job in the show is to be very silly.
It's gonna. I'm just gonna get Sloan's just gonna get like a hollow projector and do this to troll Catch like forever.
Excellent.
Tom, is there anything you want to share with the audience about the upcoming AP?
It's going to be a lot of fun. I've been saying it every time we talk about it. I'm super excited. It's going to be a very different AP. I'm not going to spoil big picture things, but it's not going to take the normal arc, the normal narrative arc here.
Almost like we're no heroes. Eyebrow wiggle.
Yes. They dropped the title of the first book. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
yes.
this is the thing.
The title of the first book is We're No Heroes. So this is we're going to be starting off with Fly Free or Die. We're No Heroes. The next one is then called Professional Courtesy, and so on and so forth. So even the names of the books are less dramatic, except I guess the first one is like melodramatic.
To be fair, we weren't really heroes in Threefold Conspiracy either.
pretty
They were
heroic. We just saved the galaxy
investigators.
from a. We just saved the galaxy from a reptoid conspiracy.
Did
Yeah.
save the Pact world from reptoids. Not that they were going to destroy the Pact worlds, you know, they were just gonna
Keep doing what
spy.
reptoids do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why we
Subtly
totally let
manipulate
them. That's why we let them go through with it. Oh wait, we didn't. But yeah, Fly Free or Die is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get to play a lot of eclectic characters. Very excited about that. Get to do some fun voices. This particular group of players, having played with them for almost 3 years now, I know I have my work cut out for me. A lot
No,
of
we're
the,
not going to throw anything surprising at you.
No, of course not.
We talked about it ahead
That's
of time.
that's what players do, right? They just play by the rules. They stay in the lanes, in the very
They do
neatly laid out
exactly what you would
tracks
expect.
and railroads.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, we
Yeah.
are pretty good about
Um,
staying on the tracks. We've gotten compliments on this.
We try.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
During
Okay.
Dot of
well,
Flame. We got told we're actually like really good players who do a good job of justifying staying on the tracks nicely and not fucking up
Yeah,
our GM.
that's true.
Pronking up our GM.
Come on, Nick.
I'm
Nice.
sorry. I don't know.
I say pronking in real life now. Okay. Like
Yeah. If I said it around my elementary kids, some of them would get it as the analog that it is, though, and I would still get in trouble.
interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I
Children.
last year I
Now-
played a video where this barbershop quartet like said full of shh, and they stopped themselves because it was a goof. But then one of the second graders was like, oh, they were about to say, and I was like, stop it, Timmy.
Don't say it.
They weren't going to say anything. They didn't say anything, did they, Timmy? Did they? And he was like,
Nothing at all.
it's like, oh my god.
Second graders learning
anyway.
about technicalities.
Yes.
I was told
that's it. I was teaching them a life lesson.
my kindergartners, you know, there's a time and a place for that word. This is not the time or the place.
Mhm.
You need to learn to
Yeah.
use it properly. It's a powerful word.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, words have meanings and
Yes,
words of
yes.
power.
It was that was good in context, or it wasn't. Sometimes wrong context. But you're still not allowed to say it here. Still the wrong place.
I get very proud of Judy when she swears correctly, and I'm waiting for the parent-teacher conference where I have to explain that I'm not disciplining her for swears when she's not using them to be awful to people, and she's using them to appropriately emphasize things.
That's as it should be. They're just words. Anyway.
And express
Clue.
feelings.
Yeah. Clue, for the record, you asked us to pronk with you. And then gave me hover skates. That was your own doing.
Yeah.
We're asking
So
for
With
that
hover
time.
skates and a motorcycle. I don't know what you expected to happen.
It was too tempting. And I said, I'm going to have Leif build me a soldier for this game. And you said, do it. So I did.
We live to
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna see some cool some exciting shipping jobs. Yes, they're gonna be exciting and not boring, I promise. Because again, do you think that everything is going to go well every time? No.
Yeah,
No,
of
it
course
won't.
not. Some of the boxes will be like uncomfortably weighted, like all the weight's on the right side, and we'll have to
Yeah,
like
it's not
kind of
evenly
twist.
distributed, and then you'll have to make a roll. You'll have to make a check to not throw out your back while you're lifting.
Yeah, I'm
it.
really excited about this.
Or
box
maybe
being
they're cutting.
so many
If we roll
fortunes.
cutting
the
corners.
bottom of the box will fall out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or maybe
The
they're
only-
cutting
Christ,
corners.
only
and
car-
they
what happens in book 3.
The only cargo we can find is a herd of space cows. We have to take cows
Maybe.
through the drift, you know.
Or maybe it's something delicate, but they wanted to cut corners, so they didn't put enough packing material in there.
Tom got
and
my
so
joke.
it's extra fragile. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, Nick.
Yeah. I was laughing for different reasons too, but I did get your joke. Yeah. It's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to interacting with these characters, weaving a tale, and hopefully making it interesting for you all. It'll be good.
Good.
Super excited too. And starting next Sunday, we'll start releasing all the art with some backstories on Discord and Twitter. You know, if you're on Twitter and you see them, share them with your friends. You know, bring more people around to the show.
Yeah.
If you think
Post
they'll
it
like
anywhere. Recommend
Post-
us. Now is the best time to jump in. Now that we're starting a new series. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
true.
we gotta-
Yeah, this is the best time to recommend the show to your friends when things are shiny and new and fresh.
Yeah, because we get it. A 4-hour episode on anything, YouTube, podcast, Twitch, whatever, that's a daunting task to catch up on for like 28 episodes of that.
We have a huge backlog now.
I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I
love
think
it when
that's
I
part
see
of our
episodes
appeal.
that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But getting in on the ground floor for a new series makes it feel less daunting, and then people can, you know, catch up on our stuff when they fall in love with our show. So there you go.
Yeah, because now this is 28 episodes of TFC plus 36 episodes of Dawn of Flame. Rise of the Star Lords is
27.
on 27 episodes.
Yeah, that's about 360 hours of content. So
It'll be
you know,
probably episode
good luck.
30 when we wrap book 2 of Rise of the Star Lords. So probably 90 episodes.
Goodness gracious me.
Oh no, Ninja, don't give Tom ideas. We don't want to get yelled at for not
No.
turning in our receipts.
It's
I
funny
don't
you
want to wear a
mention
hard hat.
I feel like Gus would be the
well-
one to wear the hard hat.
Yeah, you're right.
Of this
Gus
whole
would
crew.
wear the hard hat.
Marayoth wouldn't understand what to do with it, because if anything falls through them, they just sort of like maybe lose a few bugs, but like the colony's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Auntie, I
They
forgot to
they
say
knew
on
the
receipts.
risks
Can you
when they
forward
took
this
this
Oh
over?
job.
gosh, is Gus going to be the ship's safety officer?
Quite possibly.
Almost certainly.
Sloan has no sense of personal safety. Throwing that out there right now.
None.
Like none.
It's very frustrating.
Surprising.
Well, not frustrating. It's
Draws
something
too
that
much
makes her.
aggro. Sexual
So,
harassment
yeah.
Panda needs to give a spiel every quarter. Probably. Mostly to catch.
Whoa.
You're
Whoa,
looking at me
you're
for.
making
Yeah,
assumptions.
Catch is hot, but that doesn't mean that he does sexual harassment.
Yeah, we're
harassing
throwing
everyone
around a
with
lot
being
here.
So hot.
I feel like if anything, Catch is the one who's the victim of this.
Yeah.
No way. Can't prove it. Never happened.
All right, Captain, we have to have our quarterly talk about sexual harassment. You need to stop
Catch
saying
is-
those things, Catch.
Leaves a holographic clone. Walks away.
Catch is very much, you know, a ladies' man, a lady killer, which is going to be real hard for me to try and figure out. Channel.
I told you Catch was gonna be the one who needed to talk.
See, you could have just made them like really into machines.
That's just what I'm going to have to focus
Starfinder.
on. That's just what I'm going to have to focus on. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
right, Clue.
Is there-
I'm terrible. I shouldn't assume things based on the way Catch is dressed.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we wanted to cover?
Rude.
I don't think so. Art coming out starting next Sunday.
Right?
2 weeks from today, on February the 21st, will be episode 1.
I'm sorry.
Very
Yeah, so
exciting.
Yeah.
So next Sunday, no episode, but we will start releasing art. Because we need a week to make sure that all of our ducks are in a row and everything is ready to go. Because 2020 is finally over and we can have new assets.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Clue is correct. The first episode is just entirely you all filling out in real time your new hire paperwork.
Oh
for
no.
We aren't
For-
a new hire.
Evgenia
new
Chain
Man.
Corporation.
Onboarding.
Oh no, it's gonna be. This is the flashback. So like, you know, this is the Firefly inspired AD, right? So this is the flashback for the episode. Is Marayoth filling out their paperwork when they first started at Edge Corp, and you know, et cetera.
Oh my god.
Now, for
Now I'm-
Marayoth,
now
would it
I'm
be one
imagining-
set of forms, or would it be forms for each individual constituent?
One set
No,
of
because they got
forms.
way too.
Company hired a consciousness, not the individual.
Yeah,
constituents.
yeah.
Come on.
Okay,
Yeah, but does the
But here's the
company
question.
understand that?
imagine typing like little bugs, like enough bugs to like
Yeah,
make each
There's one
key-
bug on each key.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
hopping
I
up
can
and
already
down.
see that. I can already see that Simon is going to pronking hate all of the. Oh, but what about this?
No, I don't
I'm
hate
sorry,
it. I just have all the answers. And I'm just telling you what the answer is. It's one bug on each key. Next question.
Meanwhile, Auntie Nuna already has a script written. Like, she did it like 15 years ago.
I can't help it. Just every time I think about Simon's character, Moraeoth, every time I think about Moraeoth, I just think about that musical, Joe's Apartment from the 90s.
Oh, I love that
every
movie.
time. I
I'm not
can't keep
familiar
it
with
out
that
of my
one.
head.
I'm
Oh,
not
you should
either.
watch it. They're singing cockroaches. Come on.
Oh. Okay.
How many though? I bet it's
Lots
not
of
enough.
them. Lots of them. They don't
All
act
right.
as a single
Not
unit
enough.
all the time, but still, you could probably get some good ideas.
Also, for
Alright.
those of you watching, I recommend the movie Space Truckers because I feel like this adventure path is going to
Oh,
be a
yes.
slightly darker version of that.
Yeah, well, and also probably Space Truckers is kind of gross. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they were
It's gonna
going
be less
for.
gross. It's gonna be less
Yeah.
gross.
It's gross without being gritty. So it's very
It's
it
interesting.
is
Like,
it's a really interesting watch. It's cool. It's
Yeah,
just also gross.
the wardrobe's interesting. Like the fact that they paid attention to
Oh,
so many
fascinating.
details, but then forgot a couple of them here and there after establishing them. Like there's a diner and it has gravity, but only due to the station actually rotating, and they're fist fighting and they're fighting up a curve backwards, and that's great. And then they forget that, like, yeah, no, it's just great. it's great, and
Yeah.
it has some problems, but it's great overall.
Yeah. And it's definitely a product of its time. Like there
Oh,
are
sure.
certain things that we're not super fond of, but it was totally worth watching as a group.
Yeah. I know I'm going to be watching Firefly as well. I know I've been saying that for the past
Yep.
2 weeks, but I really got to start watching in earnest. Maybe I'll start tomorrow after school. I'll just like watch an episode tomorrow night.
Have it on while prepping.
No, I can't do that. I need atmospheric music or like music without lyrics
Mm.
while I'm prepping. Just because I have a hard time focusing as it is.
I
so-
can do something I've watched before as background noise, but I just don't have enough screens real estate to prep and watch something at the same time.
Mhm.
I only have 2
All right.
monitors. I need at least one more if I'm going to watch something at the same time.
3 monitors is key for that, Nick.
Yeah.
More
Sure.
monitors.
I'm moving. I don't want to buy any more monitors until after I move.
Yeah, that's a safe choice.
They're hard to ship.
Mm.
All right. So, shall we sign off?
Yeah,
here?
but you need a sign out thing so that I know when to press the button.
Yeah, but
That's
no,
where-
like I was offering that we should initiate the sign off process, not that I wanted to sign off. Nick is still
Acknowledge.
in
Yeah.
charge of this boat here.
I am. For
Oh,
like
alright.
10 more minutes, I am the captain of this specific boat and not the captain of whatever our boat's going to be called in the next series. And then Tom will be captain of the
It'll be a
show
very
boat.
exciting name, very appropriately exciting name.
I think it's a
Um,
cereal.
This is our
Don't listen to chat.
last time signing off as the cast of Threefold Conspiracy. It's been a great run. The art that Seth did for us was wonderful. The content that Paizo gives us was great. This was a wonderful mystery. It had lots of twists and turns. I think we all will agree that it was really enjoyable to run through. You guys created fantastic characters, and I appreciated every one of them. And you all played very nicely when I ripped the rug out from under you and said, "Surprise, you're clones!" Took away all of your
That was
agency.
All those backstories for naught.
All those backstories for naught. You guys have no idea how hard it was to keep that from you when you were writing your backstories. I was dying keeping this secret and not being able to tell you. I sent quite a few messages to Patrick prepping for this campaign being like, I can't tell them. OMG, Patrick, I can't tell them. It's killing me. Because Patrick knew.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so thank you guys for playing. Obviously, it's not an IP without players. And of
Well,
course, shout
still
out to you
running.
guys. Oh, well,
Yeah.
You did an
that's
excellent
just
job.
how I do.
Agreed.
Shout out to our audience. Wouldn't be a show without an audience. Y'all kicked butt helping these guys through the last fight.
Yes.
Giving them rerolls,
MVP.
all that jazz. Keep showing up. We hope to see you all same time, same place, 2 weeks for the next series, and Tom will be in charge. New Rise of the Star Lords on Thursday, as always. New Cosmic Crit tonight. Update on our on-demand, our YouTube channel. It is running behind, partly because I've been prepping assets for Fly for Your Die, and I cannot both hands off my computer
a lot
for
of
4
time.
hours to we ran into another glitch with downloading from YouTube, so it's going to take me 4 hours to get the video for the next episode, and I just haven't had 4 hours to do it. But it is coming. I haven't forgotten about it. A lot of stuff on my plate right now, and I want to make sure you guys have fantastic assets, beautiful new scenes for our new series. It's going to be exciting.
Very exciting.
While we're doing our announcements here, I think it bears repeating that we are going back to a weekly schedule at the
Yes.
start of the next series. That is a thing.
Indeed, we are.
Yes, we got all
Yes.
optimistic that this pandemic was gonna be over, and went back to a bi-weekly schedule. And now we're pretty sure it's just not gonna be over.
It's just
anytime
continuing to get worse. Funnily, as it so happens.
We figure,
I want the
you
record
know,
to
we
show
could-
that I have never been optimistic about this pandemic ending quickly.
Yeah.
Second
Fair.
year.
And
Only
I'll-
staying inside for months at a time. Why isn't everyone else doing that?
It's
I
like
don't
I
even
trained
remember
my
what
whole
my
life
front
for this
door looks
pandemic.
want to leave our houses again, Simon.
Eh.
Yeah, but we understand that we can't, and I will. I'll come out and say it. I was the main reason that we needed to go bi-weekly for personal reasons, but those personal reasons involved a plan
house.
for occasional travel. Yeah, a plan for leaving the house occasionally, and again, travel right now is not advised. Stay the pronk home, everybody, please, 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 please.
Please,
But
so that we can eventually
so-
all leave our houses again. Please stay inside.
in light of this, I realized that also they asked me to step up in GM, and so I said, well, I can dedicate 6 to 7 months to running an AP weekly, and then
We will still be in
and
pandemic
then
mode.
shove Nick back into the GM seat, and nobody can say anything else.
That's not
Okay.
set in stone. It'll probably happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are going back to a weekly schedule. That's important. Thanks for bringing that up, Leif.
Yes, good call.
Good call. So yeah, next week off, and then we're going back to a weekly schedule for Fly for Your Die. It's gonna be great. I'm really excited, you guys.
Yeah,
Me
me
too.
too.
Oh,
Yay.
all right. With that, one last time, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
everybody.
We'll still do this gig on the next series, though.
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
The bye, everybody goof, probably.
Probably. Take care of yourselves out there, folks.